Good morning, everyone. How y'all doing? It's been a few weeks since I've been on, and that's because we've now had over 34 days of over 100-degree weather. And also my mom just had surgery recently on her ankle, and I've been caring for her. 6 weeks of no weight bearing and then 3 months of no driving because it's on her right foot. I have a small little 2.5-week break. My sister-in-law and her daughter came up from the San Diego area to help me out, give me a small little break, and I cannot tell you how appreciative I've been of that. I go back tomorrow morning to my mom's, and I don't know how much my boys miss me, but I sure missed them, because even though we're in the same city, I couldn't come home. My mom did need me 24 hours a day. Anyway, I just wanted to come on here and let you know what in our garden has been surviving the heat. Our heat has been north of 110, many days at a time. For me, it's been a summer for the record books. So the older I get, the less I can deal with the heat. You know, when you set your thermostat between 78 and 80, that's still pretty warm, but it's a whole lot cooler than 115, 112. So I just wanted to show you a couple of plants that you have probably seen on other YouTube channels that do very well in the heat. Some of them have kind of surprised me on just how well they have flourished in the 115-degree heat. But before I do that, I wanted to share with you the best 2-ingredient bug repellent that I have come across in, well, since forever. Many years ago, I was on Facebook, and one of my friends had come across a lemongrass body lotion or body oil from Trader Joe's. And she had said that that was working really well for keeping the mosquitoes and the gnats away. Now, I have to say, here in California, we do not have a lot of the insects and pests that bother a lot of you in the south and on the East Coast. But we do have mosquitoes and gnats and flies, and when you're out in the garden and they just want to land on you and be in your face, it's hard to garden peacefully when they're all buzzing around you. So what I thought is, I've never really cared for bug repellents, and I know that they can work really well. So I thought, if Trader Joe's has a lemongrass lotion, what if I just use my favorite lotion, and I'm very sensitive to scent, so this is my favorite body lotion or hand lotion. I really like Aveeno because it absorbs quickly, it doesn't have a sticky residue afterwards. So I wanted to tell you that if you just get over the counter, I happen to have doTERRA, but you can, any lemongrass essential oil will do it. And I'm going to show you just how little you need. I use 1 pump, that's it. 1 drop, that's it. And I do this for my arms, and then I do it one more time for my legs if I happen to be wearing shorts or you know, cropped pants or capris or something like that. I've never put it on my face. I do put a little bit on my neck. I will tell you that the lemongrass is really strong. However, about 5-10 minutes, you can actually smell your arm or your hand, and it completely absorbs. So you don't even smell the lemongrass at all. But this is all I've been using for years now. I know there's many over-the-counter products that you can use to keep the bugs away, but if you happen to be sensitive to some of those and you have a favorite lotion and you get this, you can get essential oils not just at Trader Joe's, but you can get them at Walmart, you can get them at Target, you can order them on Amazon. They're so accessible now. 1 drop, 1 pump. Full disclosure, or maybe I should say a disclaimer, you're going to see weeds, and you're going to see overgrown grass, and you're going to see plants that are distressed, grass that hasn't been mowed. But when you've been away for 2 weeks, and my husband's career, this is a very busy time of year for him. So he has been gone for several days in at a time, and then when he's home it's very short, and then he's gone for several days. We have literally almost just, in essence, water to keep it alive. We haven't done very much cleanup, very much pruning, but I did want you to see just how well some plants do in the 100-degree heat. The first plant I want to show you is our Proven Winners Evening Rose Hibiscus. Now, I moved 3 of them last fall. Was it fall or spring? Maybe it was fall. And one I put over near our Oklahoma redbud. It's alive, but it is very small. So evidently it's not getting the kind of sun that it should. But the 2 that I have on each side of Chief's doghouse have performed far better than they have ever performed since we bought them. You can just tell they're setting all new bud again. They've been blooming. And of course, you know, these only last for a day. So this was yesterday's bloom, and it'll, you know, eventually fall off. However, this has been such a beautiful plant, and I'm so glad we made that choice to move them. So if I stand right here, this plant, the doghouse, this is facing west. So just as soon as this sun is straight up, even when it's south, it's already getting hit. So all day long, this is just hammered with sun, and it does not skip a beat. 2 are dianthus. Now, these dianthus here are, I think they just happen to be from Home Depot or Lowe's. They don't have a specific name. Along with the Dusty Miller, they don't even look burned. They don't look stressed. They continually bloom. In fact, let me show you a Proven Winners dianthus. Now, this is one of those areas that I need to clean desperately. However, if you look at these dianthus and how big they have grown, they just are now, obviously when it's super, super hot, they haven't bloomed a lot, but look how well they're doing. Even the begonias that get hammered with the heat, I'm again so surprised that they have withstood the sun and the heat. Sorry for the jets. Those are, what are they, F-18s, F-16s? I always forget. So that's what you hear flying over us. Lantana. Everybody talks about lantana. This is bandana yellow. In fact, this has grown so big. Of course, we haven't trimmed it. It's, you know, trailing over into the walkway, which is fine. In fact, I had planted petunias right here, and you can't even see them anymore. The blooms aren't burnt. The leaves aren't burnt. You see absolutely no stress at all. In fact, this is our purple trailing lantana that I just came the other night and trimmed. I would say, I'll insert a photo. I want to say it came out, what, about 2 feet? And so, of course, you're going to see a little bit of this right now. But before long, it's, you know, this is all going to be covered up, and this will all grow back over. I haven't even trimmed back here. These are all my petunias that did used to look like this, and they covered this whole area, but they can't deal with our heat. They just cannot deal with the heat at all. Not just that, I'm wondering if they can't deal with the sun, because here's an interesting fact. These petunias right here are almost in the shade the majority of the day, and they're still alive. So isn't that interesting that, you know, they want that sun, but, you know, these happen to be doing well. And you'll see all the redwood mess that's just, I've got to clean it up. Here are the impatiens that I planted. I think I took a photo of what they looked like before I trimmed them back, because they must have, come out to about here on both sides. I mean, they were just just huge. However, they started to look, I left this so I could show you, they started to look super leggy. So I went in and trimmed them, and you'll see that they're all gonna come back again and bush back up and look better than a leggy impatient. Nobody wants to look at leggy flowers. Even though these are annuals, I still wanted to show you how they're performing for us. In here I had Supertunia Mini Vista Pink Star. And this is, I think, Aloha Pink, something like that. Anyway, the Monrovia ones didn't make it. I wanted to show you, I had the two Monrovias right here. These three right here, when I cut them back, they look like this. These two is the same plant. This had grown way out here, and it was all kind of dead in the middle and just had blooms on the outside. And before I left my mom's house, she has this huge planter just full of super bells, and I cut them all back. And when she got on her little knee scooter and she said, "What'd you do?" And I go, "Well, no, I cut them back." I go, give them a few days. I kind of put them out of the sun so where they were getting indirect sunlight, because that was when we were at the height of the, I think we got even up to 116. I came back to see her when my sister-in-law was there, not even a week later, and it started looking like this. So this will eventually turn into this. And again, west facing, just hammered with the afternoon sun, and look at how they look like brand new plants. I absolutely love them. So, and P.S. and by the way, I picked these up on clearance. So the fact that they were a little distressed when I planted them, and look how well they're doing now, even with this level heat we're having. Oh, and I wanted to say, we have dry heat. We don't have any humidity. Another plant, Pentus. So the story behind the purple Pentus here, I had 3 or 4 of those. They were next to the lamb's ear. This was before I started buying all these little gates to keep our German Shepherd out. And he kept breaking off stems so he could get under our bedroom window. In the spring, I pulled them all up from over by the lamb's ear, and I put them over here all together because it almost didn't even look like much of a plant. So I put them all together in the hopes that if they grow, maybe it'll look like one plant. For as much as he broke all the stems off, I will be getting more and more Pentus for our flower beds. These right here, I'm letting them stay. We planted vincas, was it 1 year, 2 years ago? This is coral hummingbird or hummingbird coral salvia. Now you will see where it's been eaten. We have grasshoppers, and they just destroy so much in the garden. I pulled up all the coral hummingbird salvia years ago, and the fact that it's still coming back, I say, hey, you deserve a spot in my flower bed if you can perform in this heat. Now, I'm going to show you a photo of our lamb's ear that gets a little bit of sun and mostly shade compared to what this lamb's ear looks like. I will be dividing this at the end of the season or springtime, I'm not sure, fall or spring. Nothing burnt. I mean, look at it compared to the agapanthus. These burn every year. They're going to be fine. They'll, once fall comes, these will all disappear and it'll push new growth. Lamb's ear, a must if you live where it's very, very hot. Let me show you what the lamb's ear looks like that's in the shade. Again, excuse the mess, but it's alive. It's doing well. I probably see how I need to come in and trim, and I need to get all this redwood stuff out, but still nowhere near the size of what the lamb's ear looks like that's been hit with our 100-degree heat. All right, let me show you a few plants in the front. Now, typically, roses aren't anything to look at least for us this time of year. They have taken a good solid break as far as blooming just due to the heat. What I wanted to show you is we have a beautiful rose tree near our kitchen window. I'm going to show you that in a minute, and does not get nearly the amount of sun that these David Austin roses do. These are 3 Olivia Rose Austin. And if you look closely, there is not one burned leaf whatsoever. And in fact, I just saw this morning. Look at that. I had no idea that I had a little bloom coming. And same goes for the carding mill. You will see all the new growth that is coming on these, but you do not see any. This does not look distressed whatsoever. So it's early morning. It is getting lots of sun right now. You'll have to just forgive the camphor leaves. Like I said, it's all about keeping everything alive right now. But I wanted to show you that so much burns in our garden. But the David Austin roses, you see no burnt leaves at all. And I'll make sure I show you a picture of the Strike It Rich rose. And then let me show you one last spot. These are pink profusion zinnias. Oh, for 2 weeks I could not come and deadhead them at all. My kids were watering everything and they did an amazing job. So you will see overgrown, some empty spaces because they weren't pruned down enough so they could bush out. But I have been trying to keep on top of it, knowing I'm going to leave. This area, I still have a little bit to do this afternoon, some up here. But, and then, see, this is where they've kind of flopped over because they've gotten too big. But you know what? That's okay, because when my mom was going to have this surgery, I said, don't worry about anything. We're all going to be here to help you. And, you know, nothing has really died from neglect. I have lost some stuff due to the heat, but I'm so glad that her recovery is going so well, and I'm okay with some of my plants not looking the best, just so long as my mom is healthy. One more spot. See, if you look close enough, you'll see a little pile that I forgot to pick up last night. But these are the dianthus. Even though they're not blooming quite a bit due to the heat, this area faces south and gets west-facing sun. This is probably what, our 3rd year with these. They look phenomenal. And you can even see bits and pieces here where they're starting to bloom again. I did trim them down very low once already after their first big flush of blooms. Well, I think I'm going to end it right here in front of our eastern, is this an eastern redbud? I think I'm going to end it right here in front of our eastern redbud that is doing really, really well in the heat as well. Our neighbor is starting to mow his lawn, and I don't want to ask him to stop. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to get back to you real soon. I have a few more weeks to help my mom out, and then I'll be back in my garden full time. I hope you guys are having an amazing summer, and we'll see you soon. Bye.